Michigan Out of Doors Magazine's OD is brought to you by Michigan United Conservation Clubs, protecting Michigan's rights to hunt, fish, and trap for 75 years. And by Williams Gun Sight. Located in Davison, Williams Gun Sight has Mid-Michigan's largest selection of used guns with over 2,000 in stock every day. Check out the website to view inventory and prices. And by MSU Federal Credit Union, helping members achieve their dreams since 1937.
Hi everyone, Kent Wood here, Legislative Affairs Manager. Wanted to keep you up to date on a lot of firearm legislation that's going through both the House and the Senate right now. Very important stuff. Doesn't really matter if you use a firearm for hunting, for sport shooting, or if you compete. Odds are that there's something there that is going to affect you. By and large, it is great stuff, really designed to streamline and to help those of us that use firearms.
Let me give you a little bit of background on it first. You know, in 1999, 2000, we passed the shall issue law, which made every honest, law-abiding citizen able to carry a concealed weapon, and then so we've had 12 years almost of experience with it, and literally there's been, other than just a few small incidences, there's been very few people that have lost their license. No brandishing, no shootouts in the streets, no people killed in the parking lots, and so everybody, the whole group of reporters and newspaper writers, TV commentators know that it's been a really pretty easy slide into letting people carry concealed weapons, and so we felt all along that one of the things that needed to be changed, ever since we drafted the bill, was to remove the gun-free zones that we put in the bill back then, and of course everybody now is calling them criminal empowerment zones, because criminals know that there's no guns there. They can be used against them. So, so that's kind of been my goal ever since I've been here for the last year and a half. And that's what prompted us to draft Senate Bill 59. 59 will eliminate those gun-free zones to people that get an enhanced license. New to Michigan, but we feel like that if somebody does feel like they need to carry in the gun-free zones, they could carry it with a little bit more experience, which we're requiring about 8 more hours of book learning. And it kind of gives at least the news media and other folks a feeling that now with more education, these people are okay. And it did soften it up a little bit, and I think softening the blow of now all of a sudden we're getting rid of them. Well, we're not really getting rid of them. We're just letting more educated people with more experience be able to carry in those zones. And the other one pertains to gun boards. And so we would like a gun board that's less political, which would remove 2 of the gun board members as voting members. Now you got to remember, they just vote twice. I mean, they just sit around once a month and rubber stamp everything of all the background checks. So they waste a lot of time. So the other thing would be, let's eliminate all the dead time, make the sheriff the main person to decide who gets the permits and who don't get the permits. And those are really the 2 points that the whole bill is written around. And those are the 2 key things that we think is probably driving people that are upset with the law to have any type of negative discussion over it. Again, other incidentals, the press, we'd like better reporting from the agencies, which has been a problem. The press has written about that. But really only 2 points, and those are the ones I gave you.
Well, Ken, it was, of course, my pleasure to bring this bill forward, but really it fixes a statute that we've had on the books that's been very misunderstood and very restrictive, and actually very fine citizens of our state have been breaking the law and not knowing that. So what 5852 does is a lot of people go to deer hunting camp as their destination, and if they stop and get gas or groceries, they've actually broken the law, because in the law currently it defines where you can and can't go, and you have to go from point A to B. So now we've taken that out of there. So as long as your gun is legally stowed in a case unloaded, you no longer are breaking that law that most of us were unaware of. So it really fixes that.
Well, I've always been one that's really pushed accessibility issues for the disabled ever since I came to Lansing, really. I love the outdoors. We have had great times as a grandfather and my son and brothers and myself in deer camps, goose camps, and I think they're our fondest memories. When we look back over our life as we get older, there's intimacy with a family, but there's grand memories when you actually are part of an event such as a hunting trip. And it really, that excitement isn't limited to the open woods and water. You can have the same excitement in these hunting preserves. And it's important that we give the disabled a fair chance to get back into the hunting sport itself. What really brought the issue to light to me was our nephew was killed right after the Iraq War started. He's one of the early casualties. So we met a lot of disabled veterans just through that relationship. And it's not uncommon that people that join our voluntary military today have grown up with guns, and there's a history. There's a legacy of hunting with our soldiers. And that was a big part of their life before they went to war and became disabled. So I think one of the greatest gifts we can give them is one that they had before they sacrificed for us. Let's get them back onto the hunting fields one more time. With this legislation, they're going to be able to use motorized vehicles to go to the hunting preserves. Obviously, we all would like to walk, but they can't. So let's give them the chance to have the excitement. They can be out with their bird dogs if they choose. But when the birds flush, it doesn't matter whether you have your legs or you don't. There's that instant exhilaration. The excitement of the hunt will be renewed when they get a chance to shoot one of those beautiful game birds. So I think it's important that we're doing this. Give those that had the chance, and many that didn't really have the chance, give them an opportunity to enjoy hunting again.